And we're recording audio. Okay, here we go.
Testing.
All right.
Here we go!
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Super Fantasy Bros Super Podcast. I'm joined as usual by my co-host Tim Shirtliff.
We're back.
And today we are going to be doing a mock draft.
Stoked.
So, let's get into it. So we're going to be doing a mock draft, and we are actually bringing in our first phone call guest in the new studio. This will be Sean Kim, who is in our fantasy football league, the Super Fantasy Bros Super Fantasy League, and he will be mock drafting with us.
And he does not suck, so.
Yeah, so this will be good. We'll get some good picks, and we'll see how he goes. I'm going to start calling him in now. So you will hear him bringing in, but that is half the fun of doing this on our own. We don't have a producer. There we go. Hey. Hey, Sean. Welcome to the Super Fantasy Bros Super Podcast. We've got you plugged right in. As you can see, Tim has already started and paused our mock draft. So the first two picks that are auto pick have already gone through. We've got Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott. And we're just going to go through a mock draft, and we're going to talk shit and see who picks what.
Cool.
How's married life treating you, Shawnee?
It's very chill.
Right?
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That is a
How
good
about
answer.
yourself?
We're old as fuck. Yeah. Good shit, man. Well, thanks for joining us, man. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I randomized the order. Looks like Nuts for Breakfast is picking fourth right behind me. So that's you, bro. Hope you're ready. I wonder who you want me to pick. This should be interesting. So it's a 10-team mock, half-point PPR. I just want to put that out there. I took away kickers and defense because fuck them.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
So it's just going to be our standard Fantasy Bros format of 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, flex, and a quarterback, and a couple bench spots.
No kickers, huh?
Yeah,
I
man.
had a
Sorry to
super
break it
kicker.
to you.
Kickers win leagues, man.
Well, maybe we,
Yeah,
to emulate a home league, maybe we should have kept them in so that.
Don't worry
like,
about it. Next time.
Yep. So, yeah, who would you want first overall, Sean, before we jump in? I'm just interested.
First overall,
You agreeing with the Saquon pick?
I don't know if I trust Saquon to be that true number one. I might go Zeke here.
I hope that asshole gets
him.
suspended.
Zeke?
Yeah, fuck the Cowboys. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta
that
say.
offseason. Yeah, that offseason garbage nonsense with him. That
I know, right?
Kind of troubling. So.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's pretty up in the air. I can't. I'm not super confident in Saquon to be
Yeah.
that number one pick for me, though. So
I feel it.
that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
I were picking with
like-
my heart, it'd be Barkley. If I'm picking with my head, it's Elliott. Yeah. All right.
like-
3 minutes a pick, y'all. Let's.
Oh, that gives us some time to talk.
Exactly. It might be 2 actually. Don't quote me on that. Let's see.
Either way.
Okay, it's 2 minutes. So everyone that I want is basically available to me besides the aforementioned boys. So I'm thinking that, once again, if I were picking with my heart, it'd be Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I agree with current ADP, and that'd be Christian McCaffrey. He looks bulked up this offseason. His role is defined. There's no longer, any doubt that he is a perennial stud, and especially in any kind of PPR format, you can't go wrong. I question Kamara's durability a bit more, but you can't really go wrong with this pick. So Sean is living large at pick 4, so here I go taking Christian McCaffrey.
That's a good pick.
Thank you, sir.
I would. Yeah, that's for me. I would say Christian McCaffrey is even up there in that top, 2 conversation too. So
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, I liked him a lot last year.
I wouldn't fault anyone for taking any of these 4 guys number 1 overall. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, I'm going to act quickly and just take Alvin Kamara because he's back there with Latavius Murray now, and I'm pretty confident in his abilities.
hell yeah.
It makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, we got it easy, bro. Here comes the
Here's
challenge. With
here's
Mike
what
and
I
Seven.
have the challenge, yeah, because there goes Melvin Gordon and David Johnson both come off the board with the auto picks.
6 running backs in a row.
Yeah, and I always like to go running back, but in this case, I feel like I have to kind of shirk my usual move because, I mean, like Joe Mixon's fine, Le'Veon Bell's, and he's a New York Jet. I'm not a big
Right.
in our last podcast I said like I've liked Jet running backs, like I find them good as like value picks because they're still usually gonna get to run, in garbage time and stuff like that. But in like my first round pick, I need to nail, right?
Yeah. So Peyton Barber.
Peyton Barber it is. No, I think I'm gonna go with the ADP here. I really do like DeAndre Hopkins. I think, he's consistent, no matter who's throwing to him, really.
Man, we're boring as fuck.
Yeah. But I mean, it's gonna get more interesting as it goes. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with the DeAndre Hopkins train and
he's amazing.
Shirk what I usually do because I usually would go running back, almost to my own fault. If you had
to take a running back right here, who would you take?
I would take the risk on Le'Veon. He's still Le'Veon. Yeah. I mean, he could surprise all of us. There's a reason he's still in the first round.
I'd bet on Le'Veon.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna have a big year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna stick with the safe pick and go DeAndre.
Point is, don't pick 7 if you can avoid it this year.
Yeah, there goes Devontae. Le'Veon goes 9. Michael Thomas, then James Conner, Joe Mixon, and Odell Beckham Jr. And it loops back up to me. Now, earlier we were talking about Dalvin Cook, and I am not a big Dalvin Cook fan because I've drafted him twice, and twice he's been very injury prone. Mm-hmm. But I don't know much about the depth at running back right now. I haven't looked too deep into this draft yet, and I feel like I need a running back in my top 2.
Sure.
But, I mean...
Cook, Gurley, Chubb, Damian Williams are your top ADP guys.
Yeah. I don't know. This is actually... Man, these are 2 tough picks. I do not like position 7.
Cook.
I do, don't I? I feel like I have to. I mean, I could have really strong wide receivers. It is a half-point PPR. It couldn't kill me to go Julio or even Juju here.
To think like 6 months ago you could have had Hopkins and Gurley on the one team at the 7th spot.
This is a terrible year to be picked 7.
Well, if Mixon fell to you, you'd feel pretty good. But
I would.
I don't think he's going to fall to 2-4.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna Dalvin Cook.
He loves it. He loves it, ladies and gentlemen.
That hurt me.
Julio finally went after Juju 2-5.
Juju
Julio
jumped
2-6.
Julio.
Sean, what are you thinking?
Oh, wow! Wow. The auto draft will.
It just jumps.
Jump.
Yep.
It's an intelligent auto draft on here, so it makes it a little bit more dynamic.
That's interesting. Wow. Do I take Todd Gurley here?
Right.
The next projected pick.
With his arthritic knee?
I don't know.
Don't be a slave to ADP, man.
Yeah. Man, I'm going to make the jump. I'm going to take Nick Chubb here.
Hell yeah.
I really like that offense and the potential for it to just pop at any moment, and he'll be there to vulture a bunch of goal line touchdowns. So, yeah, Nick Chubb.
You afraid of Kareem Hunt coming back at all?
Nah, I don't know. He's an incredible talent, but he's also small. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say after these long layoffs.
Yeah, with the 8-game suspension, I think they're gonna ease him in, and I think Chubb at this point, at that point, could be a top 5, 6, 7 running back.
Well, Kareem Hunt's not making it any better on himself. He might get himself another suspension before time runs out.
He did get questioned outside a bar this weekend.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I'm gonna make things interesting here, and I'm gonna see what happens with my team if I take Travis Kelce here.
Ooh.
I'm not insanely. I love Travis Kelce. Don't get me wrong, but he is getting a little older, and
also he's not Gronk.
He's maybe 30, maybe 31. I think 30, and he has a history of concussion issues, and he does have to take a lot of balls over the middle. But I think the upside's undeniable. Not only that, but the safety as well, assuming the guy stays healthy. I mean, if it's between him and Gurley, we're talking about, safety of health, then I'm going to go with Kelce and see what happens.
Plus, we all like taking a lot of balls over the middle,
Exactly.
And there goes Gurley. Antonio Brown. That was a nice jump on Antonio Brown.
Yeah, the wide receiver value is real right now.
Damian Williams goes, and then Mike
Evans right before me. Mike Evans would have just been incredible.
That'd have been
a
nice setup. Kelsey, McCaffrey, and Evans. That'd be a nice 1, 2, 3.
Sure. I feel really comfortable, though, with the running backs that are available still. And I think you got to hit running back hard in the first few rounds. The wide receivers will come around. If, it's next round and my best wide receiver is Stephon Diggs, I will take that shit. So it's between Aaron Jones and Marlon Mack. And I'm a big Marlon Mack fan. I think he's on they're both on great offenses. I think they're both somewhat underrated players. I think this might be the year Aaron Jones breaks out because, he has a new offensive coordinator and coach, Matt LaFleur. And
I think that's going to help a lot of Green Bay Packers, frankly.
Yep, and with Jamal Williams just kind of being a guy, I see, 70-80% of the workload going to Aaron Jones. I want to throw the ball.
I had both of them last year, and I would take Aaron Jones.
So,
easy.
Yep, it's close, but give me Jones here.
Okay.
And that helps Sean because he had back-to-back running backs, so now he gets his pick of wide receiver.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Where do I
receivers.
go here? T.Y. Hilton is the next highest ADP wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He's burned me so many years, and so I just can't trust him.
Oh, you're not taking T.Y. That's interesting.
I'm not taking T.Y.
I like Thielen here
on our
personally.
last, Thielen's a beast. But on our last mock, I was like, explained why I was taking T.Y. over Keenan Allen, and then right when I was going to draft him, the auto pick took Keenan Allen for me. And
it told you were wrong.
Teeve hella shamed me, but now look at Hilton's ADPs jumped to both Keenan Green and Ty. So what do you know? So
that's a good point.
So you thinking Thielen, my friend, or AJ Green?
I like Thielen. Oh man, AJ Green, Keenan Allen. I just have like an injury list right here.
That's
think it
true.
looks like.
I should have taken Thielen, and I had 3 white boys to start my draft.
I like Thielen. I like the week-to-week consistency there. He did kind of trail off towards the end of the year last year, but I'm pretty confident in my ability to kind of like mix and match based on, at that point where the season's at, and if he is going to like trend towards that kind of drop off again, I'm willing to mix and match there. So I'm going to take Thielen.
I like it.
I like that pick. And there goes Keenan and Leonard Fournette.
Ty is still sitting there, but
you
do need a second running back, and
I like Marlon Mack here.
There.
I mean, getting DeAndre Hopkins was great. Dalvin Cook, not so great, but
talk about a tier
Marlon Mack
drop-off.
kind of makes me feel a little bit.
That's an easy pick if you ask me.
A little bit happier, yeah. That makes me feel like my running back core is not hopeless.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's an easy pick.
I think it solidifies your team quite a bit.
It's my easiest pick
now.
so
I think
far.
all 3 of our teams are looking quite nice.
Yeah. All right, so there goes Derrick Henry, AJ Green, Zach Ertz. And there's our first quarterback off the board.
Ertz at 310. I like that a lot.
Patrick Mahomes at 4-1. You get T.Y. Hilton finally goes off the board, and then Devontae Freeman. Now it comes to me. Oh, and this is where this is another tough pick for me actually, because personally I feel like I've got some weak running backs. Sometimes I'll go 3 pretty early. I don't hate Josh Jacobs here.
Mm-mm.
But I also feel like that's a big risk for him. Kerryon Johnson hasn't really shown me enough.
I like him.
I like him, but I don't know that I'm this high on him.
It's cool.
I don't hate Amari Cooper here. It solidifies.
You get to pick all the guys that no one wants to take.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Cook is fine if you ask me, but he hasn't had a full season yet, and then Cooper never puts it all together.
Yeah. But once he got to Dallas, he
says he's shooting for 2,000 yards this year.
He showed some things, man.
He's going to get 1,300 and at least 10 again, and I think he's kind of underrated as a pro. I think he's on a Hall of Fame track, and people don't realize it yet. He's still so young.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. So you're going to Cooper here if you're me?
Yes, I think so.
I think so too. I think it's nice to have your 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs really early on.
Diggs is serious consideration for me.
Yeah.
As well.
That's true too.
And Sean can't take Thielen and Diggs, so I'm hoping Diggs falls to me. Let's see. There goes Cooper. There goes Josh Jacobs, and then Diggs goes right before Sean.
I love Josh Jacobs.
Oh
He's my
man.
Gruden grinder. That's my dude.
Oh, sorry,
That's my
bro.
dude right there.
Are
Oh
you
man,
high
he
on
went.
him? We did a rookie talk, and I'm a little more bearish on him. What do you think?
I like his pedigree, coming from Alabama, and like hopefully Gruden has things a little bit more figured out and dialed in. But I don't know. It's hard to be confident with any of the Raiders.
I loved his draft story about like being basically homeless with a single dad and working through all the adversity. So I'm rooting for the guy big time. I don't know if that's the right team to be on as a running back, but anyway.
Sean's got some interesting choices here.
Yeah, I'll stop distracting you.
Yeah. Wow. Where do I go here? Do I go Kittle some bits?
You very well might.
I like Kittle. I like David Montgomery. Shirt likes him better than Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, you know what?
Value-wise. And I didn't realize they're quite as close.
I'm going to go with Kittle here because after Kittle, there really is no kind of like slam dunk, tight end there.
Yep, so. And that is why I'll be waiting on tight end now because you guys have taken all the good ones.
That's what you got to do.
Yep, you're either first or you're last.
So for me, wide receiver value, it just isn't there. I'm just not going to have a wide receiver one with Diggs gone. I think he's sort of the last of the, let's see here. Edelman, Hill, Cooks, Golladay, Woods, Cup. I mean, I'm just going to have a bunch of guys, and I'll have the worst wide receivers in the league, but I'll have Kelsey and McCaffrey and hopefully a sick running back core because I'm thinking about the aforementioned Kerryon Johnson here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just look at...
It solidifies your flex. At least you got running backs.
Yeah. So I think I obviously was right drafting Aaron Jones where he did. I mean, Mack and Jones, but I honestly have Kerryon not far behind. I guess I'm a little more bullish than the consensus on my boy Kerryon. Like I would take him before Devontae Freeman, for example. So there's still some value back there, but I'm just gonna go ahead and draft Kerryon Johnson.
There's some very interesting wide receivers later in the game, Tim. All right, so there goes Andrew Luck, our second quarterback, and then a bunch of running backs. Yeah, there goes David Montgomery, Mark Ingram, Sony Michel. It comes right back to you.
So there's
you could still get any of the wide receivers you passed on.
Yes. And I'm still not crazy about him because, I mean, Hill's going to be starting almost definitely on a suspension, and I kind of just don't want him to be on any of my teams from a personal standpoint.
I'm personally not touching him this year, no matter what.
So it comes down to Edelman or Cooks. That is tough.
Personally, in a half-point PPR, I'd probably lean towards Edelman.
Yeah,
he's going to get more targets than Cooks will, I think.
I don't know if I could ever draft Julian Edelman as my wide receiver one at this stage. That's the thing. Whereas I can see it with Cooks.
Although I think you did that to yourself.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll the dice with Brandon Cooks, actually. Yeah. I'm gonna take him here. I mean, the team's great, and I think he's gonna get enough opportunity to have a great year. So
okay. And now it's down to Sean again.
Yeah. Where do I go here? I think I go with the wide receiver, but I'm staring at Julian Edelman, Tyreek Hill, the aforementioned,
Kenny
Golladay,
Robert Woods. Yeah, I like Golladay or Woods. Yeah.
I might have to lean towards Kenny G here, being the main dude again in Detroit.
Third-year breakout,
shipping
potentially.
Everybody else out. Yeah.
They're going to suck. They're going to have to throw as much as they want to run. They're going to have to throw.
I respect that.
Yeah. And it's going to be a bunch of 50-50 balls, and I don't know. I just like the way he moved. He's very smooth.
He likes a beast. The way
he's got
moves.
Those, as the fantasy footballer says, he's got those smooth routes.
All right, there goes Julian, and then Chris Carson. Now it's to me.
Julian falling to you here would have been amazing.
That would have really helped me out, but you know what?
You can get your third running back.
I am planning on getting my third running back because
you love Phillip Lindsay.
I love Phillip Lindsay. He was the only bright spot in my season last year. Because who did he take the job from?
From right out of Royce Freeman's lap.
Yeah, because I drafted Royce Freeman early last year, And one of the saving graces of my season last year was that I grabbed Philip Lindsay on the free agency market.
And after him is Drake, Cohen, Geis, Coleman. It's gross.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is. I mean, you know, like Cooper Kupp's there and Rodgers is there. Like they're not like terrible. I'm not touching Tyreek Hill as aforementioned because fuck that guy.
Thank you. We'll let the computer draft him.
Yeah, let the computer have that piece of shit. So anyways, I will be drafted.
We don't know if he did anything. I mean, he did get caught on audio threatening to like injure people, but
bro, he did something. We all know he did something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
You got 50 seconds.
Yeah, I got 50 seconds. I'm doing Philip Lindsay. Well, that's already there. So now we can just wind this clock out. But there we go. Philip Lindsay it is. There goes Tyreek Hill to the computer. Tyler Lockett. Sammy Watkins. That's an interesting jump.
Kenyon Drake. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he come from?
I know,
and then
right?
There goes Robert Woods and Aaron Rodgers.
Running backs, man. You just got to get them.
All right. Well,
but dude, the wide receiver value there on the turn, I love.
Yeah.
Lockett, Watkins, Woods.
Yeah.
That's
man.
Some hot freaking piece of ass right there. Yeah. I think Tyler Lockett's the real deal, man. He's so fun to own. So and Sammy,
that's true.
I mean, Sammy over Hill for me right now.
For sure.
So and Woods is so underrated.
Okay. So,
Woods is the man. He's the dude in LA for me over Cup, over
Cooks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He's the dude.
Now, see, what do I do here? I don't even have an opinion on any of this. This is like one of those picks, you know, when you're staring down the barrel of a pick and you're like, I don't want any of them. That's where I'm at right now.
Well, Aaron Rodgers just went at 6'3". That's
frankly, I think I might like go Deshaun Watson here. I mean, I like Deshaun Watson. He does things. I don't love anyone else.
Do you want to hear what my pick would be? Especially since it doesn't impact Sean or me.
Yeah.
O.J. Howard.
O.J. Howard.
Love him.
I'm really
gonna make that jump.
Yep, and you're getting him right at value right here.
You know, I am usually of the opinion to like if you don't draft like the first one or two at tight end, you just get someone at the very end. But
O.J. is in.
But you're right. I do like O.J. Howard. I liked watching him last year.
He's a beast.
Screw it.
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Why not?
You know, I wasn't feeling strong about anyone else. Take the risk. So there goes O.J. Howard.
It's a great pick.
Cooper Kupp goes immediately after Calvin Ridley, and now it's to Shawnee.
Just touching real quick on the tight ends, there are some decent options, you know, with Hunter Henry coming up.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram. You have guys that can kind of like have some resurgent seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Eric Ebron, he was the fucking man last year.
Right,
he's a little bit further down there. So,
but just get the last of those guys. Don't be the one to be like, I'm gonna jump on Hunter Henry here because I believe in him. It's just like you don't have to believe in him.
No.
Yeah.
I also just like especially in years past when like we had Gronk, you know, like it'd be like Gronk goes and then like three tight ends that like you don't feel that strong about would go.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be that guy.
I feel it. What you thinking, Sean?
All right, here we go. Is this my pick right now?
You know,
so I'm gonna go with. Oh man, I like Mike Williams, but I'm gonna keep looking down. I'm gonna keep scrolling.
I was only silent there because I'm hoping to get Mike Williams. I think it's Godwin or Williams, so I'm gonna be happy either way. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm looking down there. There's some picks, but I'm not gonna like jump for them just yet. So. I'm going to make my Mike Williams pick. I think he's going to make a jump with Terrell Williams departing. There's now room for one big Williams in the middle of the field. I feel good about him.
All right. Now I'm just kind of sad because I kind of showed my cards there and let you take him.
Yeah.
As I'm trying to look for, Chris Godwin is significantly higher in expert ranks, though. And he's everyone's little fantasy darling. I understand why. There's actually really good wide receiver value here. I'm not sad about my strategy. Like, I'm not stoked about Cooks being my one, but, you know, I think you just hammer wide receiver in these rounds from what I can tell right now.
Yeah. That seems to be where to go. Yeah.
I mean, there's some guys with some serious upside sitting here. So this is actually pretty tough. So I'm going to just go ahead and get Godwin here and probably follow it up with another wide receiver next. Let's see. So Godwin goes, then James White, Lamar Miller, running backs, Geis, and then Landry. So a lot of, pick of the litter again, a bit a wide receiver. We got Boyd, Jeffrey, and my guy I think is going to be DJ Moore, who I'm going to draft here. I think Allen Robinson is way too low in the sleeper rankings too. He's a consideration for me here, but let me just think about this for a sec. I think I need to not overthink this and just go with my gut, which was excitement for DJ Moore. It's a bit of a dart throw because I'm taking both Godwin and Moore and projecting a bit of value to, jump up. Whereas like Alshon might be a safer pick. Yeah. But my heart says DJ Moore. So
you're going upside.
Yeah. So there's my, third wide receiver I feel pretty good about.
Yeah. I mean, I'd take your roster right now.
Yeah. Loving it.
Cool. So we got Deshaun, Tariq, Cohen, Hunter Henry, Tevin Coleman to be the next 4 projected picks. I'm going to actually go with the next person up just past Tevin Coleman and take my QB here with Baker Mayfield.
Oh, snap.
And there goes Deshaun.
Double down with my Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I'll say.
I do feel like this is kind of the year, if there's going to be any year where,
you're going to take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Jump. I'm going to take the Browns to the playoffs. I believe in that much.
I feel it.
But that's saying a whole lot from where they were coming from, and so, with key additions, with the way that they've been drafting over the last few years, I like the makeup of this team.
Fair enough. I would have taken Watson in a heartbeat, but I respect it. Everyone's stoked on Baker. So.
Well, last year, Sean took Patrick Mahomes, and you weren't high on it, and that worked out pretty well for Sean.
Yeah.
A nice, strong second-place finish.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. But, it's hard to beat.
Drew Brees is still available.
I'm not touching the quarterback right here.
Damn, didn't work.
Personally, I think I gotta go wide receiver here. But I don't hate grabbing Tevin Coleman as like my, running back 4. I think like they'll find use for him.
Who do you like at wide out? You only have 2 right now.
Yeah, I think I like Boyd more than I like Jeffrey personally. But
do you let's say you really want one of your Niners, say, because we're Niners fans. Would you rather wait and get Pettis next round or like risk losing Coleman here? Like, how high are you on Pettis or,
I'm not, like, super high on either.
Here's what I'd do if I were you. I would take your pick of the litter at running back and then follow it up with Allen Robinson, your next pick, because I think he's way too far down on this board. I don't hate that idea. I'm not insanely high on him, but I think he's just too low right here. I take him above
I'm not high
Boyd.
on Tariq Cohen, personally, so I would rather have Tevin Coleman. So, I guess, screw it.
Yeah, let's see.
Tevin Coleman. It makes watching the Niner games more fun. There goes Eric Ebron, followed by Tariq Cohen, Tyler Boyd, Darrell Henderson, Matt Ryan, Robbie Anderson, and then, here we go. So
Jeffrey's still sitting on the board, and then, I was mentioning Pettis, Allen Robinson, there's Kirk there, Will Fuller, but I don't know.
There's actually like a lot of interesting picks here. Yeah, Will Fuller you can't totally trust, but he's also my 3rd wide receiver, but. I'm definitely not taking another Niner, but I don't hate grabbing Alshon Jeffrey here because he stuck around the horn.
No, I think he's definitely a good value here. If it's between Jeffrey and Allen Robinson, if I'm thinking about it, actually I do like Jeffrey more.
I do too.
It's true.
Think.
It's because he stuck around, but you had a fallback option, so that's kind of thing. You can't really predict ADP, reliably, but
when you can't predict what people will do,
right?
People are high on players sometimes just because they like their,
Yeah, sometimes see what happens, but don't forget to take your guy. Yeah. That's the number 1 rule.
Yep. All right, there goes Jeffrey.
Sean understands it. He's just getting Baker.
Yeah. Drew Brees goes, and then Miles Sanders, who we talked about on our last episode a little bit.
So what are you thinking, Shawnee? You're up.
What am I thinking? I'm kind of just shooting at the hip, like shooting from the hip, rather. With this draft, I'm just like going with people that I kind of feel good about going into this new year.
I think it's working out for you.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm looking at some bench players now, so depth is key, and I'm willing to take some flyers here. So Rashad Penny looked really good last year in spurts. and I'm not too confident in Chris Carson's ability to stay on the field. And so I feel like it's going to be more of an equal split, and it may even lean more towards Rashad Penny. And so to have that on the bench and to be able to turn to for key matchups here and there, to flex in and out, I'll take them.
Sure. You actually, on the way back to me, you've sniped the guy that I was really considering. I was totally happy with Godwin, but I was begging for Rashad Penny to fall to me here. So now I gotta pivot, which is not a big deal, because I love that pick right there, dude. Latavius is perfectly fine here. I'm just looking at the one thing the sleeper needs to improve. I'm just gonna call him out. Is like there's a team the 1-1 took Barkley, and then they have Damian Williams, David Montgomery, Mark Ingram, Lamar Miller, Darius Grice. What the fuck? Like that's 5 running backs or something like that. It's 6 running backs, so it's just like okay.
Yeah, that is a weird draft.
Yeah, and the other guy is 4. One of them has a quarterback, so I'm like, peeping Russell Wilson. Like that is really tempting here, especially since I'm just hoping like, I don't know. It is true that I don't love the running backs, just left period. But you know, I'll take my chance that Latavius could potentially fall to me. I don't think that's how the system works, but if I'm gonna want to love my team, I'm just gonna take Russell Wilson here and see. I do really love Carson Wentz this year as well, and he's right. He's available right here. Yeah. But you going back to our quarterback here is just silly. Yeah. But whoever gets him is gonna get a ton of value. Might be our boy Mike. So, because he's one of the few guys left without a quarterback. That's
true. There goes Dante Pettis, Jared Cook, Will Fuller, and Hunter Henry. Yeah. And so Latavius did come back to you as requested.
And sometimes you just got to make a boring pick. He's not anything crazy, but, you know, who knows? Maybe I'll be able to sell him to Sean, theoretically, later on when Kamara gets hurt. So there you go. I took Sean's backup.
I love making moves.
We'll trade him straight up for Penny. How about that?
I'll think about that. Where do I go here? Let's see, we got nobody really too thrilling.
I'll tell you who Brian Cole would take here. He'd take Kareem Hunt. He's the all-injury, all-suspended team always every year.
Yep. And he is a handcuff for Sean, but don't fucking draft Kareem Hunt at 9-4, please, people. Draft Kareem Hunt like at the end of your draft if you're going to draft them all, because just don't be that sap that has that guy sitting there for 8 weeks on your bench. It's ridiculous.
This is a fantasy draft. Like, I'm not trying to draft handcuffs. Like, I'm not that dude.
That's valid.
But I may make like a crazy move. I don't know.
Mike didn't tell you this is for $100.
This is for $100. Oh shit! Oh fuck! That changes everything.
Dun, dun,
all right.
dun.
Well then, I'll take Christian Kirk.
Oh, your $1 million
I'll take
man.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Kirk there.
So you're down.
Like I said,
So you're not too high on Allen Robinson? He just went.
Nah, I'm not. Nah.
Okay.
I like
Jordan Howard as well.
I don't know. I'm more down to like try something new.
Sure.
Like I've seen kind of like the history more recently, you know, with these new coaches coming into the league, bringing like a new wrinkle. I feel like this is gonna be a spread offense. Christian Kirk is like that.
I like
jump off type
I think
dude, you know, and so.
Both of them are interesting, so I don't mind the pick at all. So yeah, Kirk, Howard, Allen Robinson, and now it's on to Mike.
Yeah.
You want to read off your team real quick, Mike?
Yeah. So I've got DeAndre Hopkins, Dalvin Cook, Marlon Mack, Amari Cooper, Phillip Lindsay, O.J. Howard, Tevin Coleman, and Alshon Jeffrey.
So the core is set, so now it's depth.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've got 3 wide receivers, 4 running backs, and a tight end.
Is Carson Wentz still available?
Carson Wentz is still available, and that's, I think, what I have to do.
I mean, they will draft backups, I feel, in this format. So
yeah, and I mean, it can't hurt me.
It's an incredible pick, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I think that really rounds out the team right there.
Yeah. These teams are studly, I must say.
I think any of these teams could win in our league. No, there goes Kareem Hunt way too early. And then Vance McDonald, Royce Freeman. We got Sterling Shepard, N'Keal Harry, who we talked about last episode a little bit, Marvin Jones. All right, so now.
It's interesting that the ADP has like a tight end or 2 in every single like round. Like it seems like every 5 picks on average, a tight end goes, and I think that's just not the right strategy at all.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go a little bit bold here. I'm gonna grab another wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I really just want to take a risk. I want to go DK Metcalf.
Okay.
Why the hell not?
Sure.
I mean, at my fourth wide receiver, with really strong wide receivers in front of him, I don't feel like he's going to see a lot of time in my starting lineup. But if he breaks out, I got him.
Sure.
He's real big and real fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
And they got to throw to someone.
Yep.
It can't just be like last year. Just it looked like half the time they had nothing. So
Well, they'd lock it.
yeah, but I mean that was it.
Yep.
So I think he has an opportunity. I'm gonna give him a shot.
Cool.
There goes Larry Fitz.
More
and
value
then
to us.
Ronald Jones. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, these are the rounds where you take a risk.
Yeah, sure.
In my opinion.
Yeah, you do you, man.
I've won our league twice, so I know a few things.
Please take DK Metcalf next, in the actual draft this year. I love it. In the 10th round.
I got Alshon Jeffrey, Amari Cooper, and DeAndre Hopkins in front of him. He's not going to see.
You got your value. It's cool. All right, Sean. Sorry to talk over you. What are you thinking?
All right. I just like to load up on my wide receivers because I feel like it's such a crapshoot every year for me in production.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And so, if I'm able to load up on consistent running backs producers, early on, then I can mix and match. And so I'm going to continue with that strategy here and kind of like load up on some depth wide receiver meat,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm going to take Corey Davis.
Okay. Yeah, he's a talented guy. It's just, is Marcus Mariota ever going to figure it out?
Yeah. I don't know. I heard they got bunk beds. I heard they got bunk beds recently. They're working on their chemistry.
Oh shit! I didn't. Oh man, third
bunk
round
beds
pick.
changes everything, guys.
Yeah,
for sure.
Everything.
That's good in-depth analysis that we come for you, Sean.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's what we were all looking for.
Yeah, I'm also looking at wide receivers. Yeah, in the same vein, suboptimal offense. I think he's even maybe a slightly less talented player than Corey Davis, but I think he's still a beast. He's entering his second year. Cortland Sutton is who I'm speaking of.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, he's a monster. He made some great catches and plays last year. It's just like when he got the opportunity to be the guy, it didn't all come together. The industry's super excited about Deshaun Hamilton in the slot because he's going to eat up all of freaking shitty Joe Flacco's, dump offs and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Joe Flacco's still targeted deep, and I don't know. I think that this is the kind of time where someone like Cortland Sutton can be kind of exciting to draft and see what happens. So
I mean, yeah, he's your fourth wide receiver. He doesn't have to be your guy.
Right. So I think I'm gonna read my team off real quick.
There goes LaShawn McCoy, Kyler Murray, and Cam Newton, and Deontay Foreman. By the way.
Ooh, Cam Newton here. Woo-wee. That's good value. We'll see if his shoulder holds up.
Yeah.
All right. Christian McCaffrey, Travis Kelce, Aaron Jones, Kerryon Johnson, Cooks, Godwin, and Moore at wide receiver, but 3 picks in a row. Then I got Russell Wilson, Latavius Murray, Cortland Sutton. So I got 4, 4, and 1. So that's pretty good balance there. When your team is balanced, the first thing you should probably look at is running back. Which is kind of gross here. Deontay Foreman that is going right before this pick. I would have probably taken him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I like Jalen Samuels, but he's just strictly a backup. I could take McKinnon, who's still sitting here, but I am not.
They might do interesting things with him.
Yep.
They really, really wanted him for some reason.
I'm not crazy about it. Okay, so I'm not I'm gonna do something weird.
Do something weird, bro.
Let's get weird. I'm not a big
Sony
Michel guy. So there's 2 picks left in the draft. If I want the guy, I might as well just take him. So I'm gonna be really high on the rookie Damian Harris and just take him here.
Okay.
It's way before ADP right now, but that's just. I mean, I guess he had his knee scoped and he's back to running full speed. But
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't think they need to run Michelle. I think that Damian Harris is going to get some work this season, so give me some of that.
By the way, the rounds we're taking everything in are not indicative because there's also, no kickers, no defense. And
True.
I think we have more bench slots in our league. So,
Right.
like, a lot of these guys would go later rounds.
Yeah. I'm just telling.
But Damian Harris.
I'm telling the world I like Damian Harris.
That's fair. What you gonna do, Sean?
Right
Second to
on.
last pick.
You want to read your team off,
Second to
Sean?
last pick. Oh, yeah, I should probably do that. Here are my rising stars for 2019 team. Baker Mayfield, Alvin Kamara, Nick Chubb, Adam Thielen, Kenny Golladay, George Kittle, Mike Williams, and then on my bench I've got Rashad Penny, Christian Kirk, Corey Davis.
It's nice. It's very nice.
I'd take that team.
From the last two picks.
You need a running back, my friend.
I need a running back.
Yep.
Yeah, I need some running back depth there. There's not much going on here at
No,
this late stage in the draft.
there's not much going on
But
the rest
out
of the
of
draft.
all these guys, I'm probably most confident in Eckler. You know,
I can see that.
I kind of like Hyde, who just went 2 picks
Mhm.
later. I didn't mention Hyde. I don't like the player a ton, though. Former Niner, you got a rep. But I mean, he burnt out hard last year. Don't get me wrong.
For
But he's
sure.
on Kansas City. Everyone forgets, and Damian Williams hasn't done it yet. Like over the course of the season, Hyde has. So in the 11th round, yeah, I could see that being a why not? Why not?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So let's see here. I got 4 and 4. I feel stronger about my running backs than my wide receivers, but
You could take Alexander Madison, the aforementioned. You could wait around to do that, though,
yeah.
because you have Cook.
I mean, I could do anything here, and
Yeah, I mean, doesn't
I
fucking
feel like
matter.
I can get whatever I want. I kind of like the idea of just going like with a little bit of like sleeper upside, and I like Geronimo Allison a little bit here. I mean, 5th wide receiver. Again, I don't need anything from him, but if he gets an opportunity, maybe he can do something. Everyone's been high on him for years, but he's never really pulled it together. I also don't hate Ito Smith here.
Okay.
I mean, he might get an opportunity.
Yeah. No, I mean, Devontae hasn't been there for a long time, and so that's going to be a good offense.
Yeah. I'm going to go Ito.
You can't go wrong here,
Yeah.
You might
Ito
go
Smith.
right, but and it's all dart throws.
Yeah. And so there goes Jameis Winston, Peyton Barber, D.D. Westbrook, Geronimo Allison finally goes, Phillip Rivers, Marquez Valdez.
Scantling right behind Allison in ADP right now.
Yeah.
So the jury's out. That's going to be one of the best training camp battles to watch right there.
I'm going to take a little bit of an upside backup risk here at this point. I'm going Jimmy G.
Oh, shoot.
I'm going Jimmy G.
And Jared Goff right behind him, which
Yeah.
is really great value. And Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah.
So last pick of the draft over to Sean. He has 4 running backs and 5 wide receivers, tight end, and quarterback.
all right. So with this last pick, I just like kind of go for the dude that I don't know. I'm just like most interested in kind of rooting for, and that's a Detroit Lion tight end. Randomly, but this rookie T.J. Hawkinson.
That's funny.
He's super athletic, and they somehow like get their tight ends the ball, and so I'm gonna kind of roll with that and
I like it.
keep him on my bench.
That's fair.
If I ever need him.
If he goes off for 5 and 100 week 1, everyone's gonna label you a genius. So,
Oh yeah.
it's funny we were running.
You heard it here. You heard it here first.
We were running through some rookies, and I was just like, yeah, just don't draft him in a redraft league, and we just glossed right over T.J. Hawkinson.
That's true.
But whatevs, dude.
But Sean seems to know things sometimes, so let's see how that goes.
Oh, for sure. So a lot of good wide receivers went.
Mhm.
So
I mean, they're still interesting.
My
wide
favorite
receivers.
one left is maybe Curtis Samuel, maybe Anthony Miller. There's Devin Funchess, who we've been talking up this offseason.
I like Devin Funchess.
I like him less that we now know that they have a good wide receiver that they drafted as a rookie.
That's true.
Um,
He's just always been someone that people talk about. Like, he should have a breakout. He's big, he's athletic, he's fast. But I mean, maybe Andrew Luck can figure him out. He's got a better arm than Cam.
yeah. I could take Golden Tate here or something, do something safe, but
Emmanuel Sanders, Deshaun Jackson are both interesting for like late wide receivers.
yeah. So all this being said, I'm going to just take a guy that's going to have an opportunity, and I can just dump him really quickly. That's really what you want in your last pick. And who's that?
High upside,
Mecole
easy
Hardman.
to drop.
You know, he's going to be the guy for the first few weeks of the season. If he just busts out and we don't know what's going to happen with Tyreek Hill, I mean, like, I'll just know right away. He's a rookie.
Like that pick.
Yeah. Just I don't.
Mecole.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like, who cares? Like, why not take a
100%.
chance? So yeah.
And there goes Kiki and Golden Tate to finish off the
is
draft.
a great draft pick that late, Golden Tate, but I don't want Golden Tate.
Yeah,
So.
no one does.
Golden Tate to round out the draft.
That's why he was Mr. Irrelevant in this draft.
He's got the golden
At the
taint.
ass end of the draft.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just the taint.
So how do we feel about our teams?
Golden Taint Award. Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up.
I like it.
So, who do you think had the best team?
Well, obviously, we're all going to think we all ourselves do.
No, I mean,
I think my team sucks. I'm just looking at it, I'm like, dude, this team sucks.
Stacked,
But,
you said, right?
what do you? No, he said he thinks his team sucks. What do you not like about your team?
What do I not like about my team?
Yeah, what's like the big standout flaw?
There's a whole lot of question marks. I don't like my bench.
Yeah,
I probably would have picked a little bit differently.
We both were forced into drafting wide receivers too early at Cooks and Galladay. I feel like both great players, but we, like a round later, we both love Robert Woods, and he went like 8 picks later or whatever. You know?
Right.
I love Tyler Lockett, but yeah, go ahead. Do you regret taking
that's
Baker?
Probably it. No, I still like Baker. But I don't know. Like I said, there's just like way too many question marks here.
yeah,
And way too many situations where it's like, they could do really well, but it's because of this or that, And it's not like consistent, especially with my top couple of picks. It's Kamara and Chubb.
yeah.
I like Kamara, but again, maybe losing the running back for the Ravens now.
Mark Ingram.
I'm getting it. Yeah, losing Mark Ingram, how does that affect?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even see
the
Mark
offense
Ingram go.
ultimately,
Oh,
so.
he went late.
It's 5-1.
Yeah,
Right before Sony. I took Carry on right
on that
before
team with like 7 fucking running backs.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike. How about your team?
I like my team. I would field it. I mean, it's not the team that I dream of, but
It's balanced. I think
it's balanced. I feel like I could be competitive.
the
I
fact
feel
that
like
you
I
got
could make
Howard
moves.
and Wentz on the
Yeah.
tight end and quarterbacks when you didn't go hard on tight end or quarterback until
Yeah.
then. Those were really great picks.
The tight end and quarterback are positions I tend to lay in wait for, and I think that works out a lot of the time.
Agreed.
Because you both went tight end a little bit earlier, and I feel like for you that sacrificed some wide receiver depth.
Totally.
And for Sean, maybe he could have gotten Ingram there and felt a little bit better about his running back core. Because as we figured out, there's not terrible depth at tight end. They're going to get you what they're going to get you, right?
But after Howard, I just don't know. So
Oh yeah, I mean for sure.
it's nice to land him where you add value where you did. That was insane.
Yeah.
But had that not happened, let's say the guy who took Rodgers and you had to take Rodgers, which is fine at 6'4",
Yeah.
then you're looking at you would have wanted Evan Ingram or something, and then he would have gotten drafted. So you'd have had Eric B. Ebron, and you'd be like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it needs to fall right. Let's just say.
I mean that's every draft, right? It's all kind of luck too. It's half skill, half luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've got some interesting sleepers that I like. I think some of these guys on my bench could perform, but they're question marks. But I feel decent about my starters, and if I feel strong about my starters, I am okay with having a bench of questions.
Sure.
So.
I think your wide receivers, your top, you only have 4, but your top 3 in Hopkins, Cooper, and Jeffrey are really solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but if it were
it were our league, I would have had more bench slots. I would have
Sure.
probably gone
you
Golden
would have
Tate.
taken Geronimo Allison when you wanted him.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd have had more opportunity to grab more stuff.
Yeah.
But instead I went Ito, and, maybe Ito will get that opportunity, and maybe I can move him for something.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
what about your team?
It was interesting to take Kelsey at a good spot, but obviously,
To see how that works.
yeah, you're not going to end up with a you're going to end up with a deficiency if you take a tight end in the second round. It's
Yeah.
just the name of the game. But
And this is why we mock draft.
and I'm not stoked about Cooks as my 1, but having Godwin and Moore as my 2 and 3 is perfectly
No,
fine.
those are fine, yeah.
And Sutton and Hardman.
And Russell was nice value where you got him.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with this team. I would definitely take this team into a 10-team league, no problem.
Yeah.
So that's enough said right there. I mean, it's really nice to have 3 running backs in your first 4 picks with a league that you have a flex.
Yeah.
Because if they all break out,
Then
you're
you're
in the playoffs.
Yeah,
So
exactly. That's why I go
We're
pretty
deep
running
in the
back heavy
playoffs.
early.
Yep.
Yep. So, yep.
Alrighty. Well, that is our mock draft episode. Sean, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks for having me, guys.
It's always good talking, man. We'll do one of these again soon.
Yeah, we got preseason coming up, so we're going to have a lot to talk about.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Good luck in the fantasy baseball playoffs.
Ooh,
It's
before we
you
let
and me.
Oh yeah. Nice. Before we let Sean go though. Sean, in our next episode we're going to be showing some stuff that Jordan sent in. He was supposed to do a call-in episode with us today, but instead sent us the douchiest videos I've ever seen in my life. And you'll get an opportunity to see them. It's like a bunch of shit talking from like a rooftop bar and like hanging on
Sounds about right.
like with like a girl around him and like drink in his hand and like his shirt unbuttoned and shit. So as you know, Jordan took last place in our league last year and Tim took first place. You got any ideas for a good t-shirt for Jordan?
I don't yet. I don't know the guy well enough, but I feel like I'm about to learn a lot more about him.
Ooh.
Help me out.
I don't
Sean.
know, man. You should get one of those Lakers. I guess this isn't football related, but the Lakers are big talk right now
Mhm.
Right.
in the town. You should get one of those like old like Lakers shirt dresses. You know what I'm saying? That they used to make for
Oh
girls.
my gosh, yeah.
That, like,
Basically
are,
like the
really long and
cheerleading
fitted.
team. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Make
You
him
need
wear
to get
that.
him in that, and just like hyping people up like right outside of Staples as people are driving past.
That's a pretty great punishment,
Yeah, I love it.
especially for someone who's so image oriented based on those videos.
Yeah, clearly he wants to be put out there. Like,
Yeah, let's put him out
this
there.
This could be his stage. You know?
We can get Sean to go film it with his phone for us.
Yeah, I'll get some shots from like a roof. Actually, ironically, it's just like
Yeah, hold him accountable.
block
Make sure he
away.
does it.
exactly.
All right.
I'm trying to think
I'm
of
there.
something with an A and a D, because of AD.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like it's inverse, It's like put
Yeah.
the D in my A. It doesn't, I'm like
Yeah.
get my A on that D.
My A loves the D.
Exactly.
We
it's
digress.
coming
This
together.
is a football podcast, right? This is a fantasy football podcast.
That's
All right,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, we gotta
figure
get off
something
this.
out.
Yeah, and plus, I'm still depressed over the NBA offseason right now.
We're okay. We're gonna be all right.
I think we're gonna be okay, but I'm
We're
still.
gonna be all right.
We got Willie Cauley-Stein today, baby.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
Game changer.
All right, Sean. Thanks.
Really true.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know. Maybe they'll make some more moves too.
I think they're good.
Oh yeah.
They're good.
Okay.
All right, Sean. Great talking, man.
All right.
Peace.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Right.
All right. Well, that was a good mock. I think that went.
Swimmingly.
Swimmingly. Yeah. I apologize to everybody. Ow, that was my ears.
Maybe you'll edit that out. Maybe not. We'll see.
Nah, I think I'll keep it.
Okay.
Screw everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a strong
Screw your
mock
ears,
draft.
That's for sure.
Um,
I wish we could put this into a ranking system so that they could just tell me my team's the best.
Mm.
We need to have that like payoff of just like
There you
what's
go.
your score. They do them on Fantasy Pros, so maybe we'll do one on that one next time.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for this episode. We are gonna move on to what are we doing next week?
We're gonna do some top 10s.
Top 10s. I like it.
So we're gonna duke it out and actually have to come to a consensus and argue about it.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
So we're gonna figure out what our top 10s at each position are. All right. And then again, this is the
Still sorting out those drops.
yeah. This is the Super Fantasy Bros Super Podcast, and we'll be back.
Rock on!
Yeah.